It's Monday, May 2nd, and you're here for the People's Patriot Project WeP3 Weekly Debrief. We are currently listening to WeP3 Radio, produced with the partnership of Rees Across America Radio with an remember to follow one of those sources of each generation of value for the entertainment who have served our country. Currently playing on WeP3 Radio, How the West is Won, On the Road, and iPod.
Oh, you know it shines so bright, just like the leather in these veins I hold. Now you're holding on too tight. Under the stars on the saddle I see. Whiskey makes you feel alright. Gonna down the dog, shut down in the street.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Thank you for joining in today with Andrea Eichmann and Mark Peterson of the People's Patriot Project for this week's WeP3 Debrief. Find out what our crew has been working on to help support those who have given some and all to the pursuit of liberty and freedoms across Minnesota and the United States. Watch, listen, and support as we create the beacon of hope and opportunity in today's society that needs its heroes. Are you a veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to be the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to the WeP3 Debrief. Here's Andrea and Mark letting you know the mission. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Here we are. It's Monday, May 2nd, and I'm trying to get all the buttons pushed to where we got to be. And we are here, and we are live, and we are doing our thing. Look at that new thing we got there.
And then there were two. Look at that. We got a lot of comments.
I don't know if I like it or not like it because I don't know that I want all of our stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? We got some stuff that happens on that needs to stay behind the curtain.
Sometimes, yeah, but really, we've been pretty darn lucky. So I think.
Look at that, Dylan. I don't even have to push the button. Your stuff's right up there.
There's Dylan.
Boom. What happens if we click on it then? Boom. Oh, it goes like that. But it's all there. It moves everything weird. It's all good. I like it.
You know what? It moves you weird. So just relax.
Oh, yikes. All right. Do your thing, girl.
Do my thing. Help me find my sheet. Oh my gosh. Where's the script? I'm kidding. We haven't really gone.
You don't have it? You don't have it?
I have it right here. I got it right here.
Okay. All right.
We haven't really used it though since, since When's the last time we even used it? Oh my gosh.
Do you know?
All right, let me.
You don't even know what you have to say. That's why you're stalling right now.
Dude, it's Monday, May 2nd. Thank you for taping that in there, Peterson. Wow.
Yeah. I know.
We do understand. Thank you very much. We had our guests last night, or some audience tell us last night, we have to figure out this sound thing on our intro because Peterson's trying to tell you what you're listening to and what day it is and what's going on. And it's not working. I don't know what's wrong with it. We'll figure it out though. We got a few things to work on, but we're here. This is our debrief today. This is to let you know what we have been up to the past weeks and what's coming up soon, and to share what others are doing to help the cause. Gosh dang it, you guys, we had like 1,200 active people on the show last night watching the show and like interacting, and it was so cool to have that many guests. We find that a lot of our views come after the fact, and so to have it all live there with us was freaking amazing. So thank you. Our guests were really cool. This week we had our Smart Living sponsor, Brian Kenzer, always ready to share what he does and how he can help you discuss getting on the right side of your house, support American families and jobs and the economy, and support the WeP3 mission all in one fell swoop. Thank you, Brian Kenzer. We also appreciate our other sponsors, and they help us out with our newsletter. We got Catch 22, the Boho Hobos Hideaway, Contagion Effect, and Operation Texas Strong. And let me I'm going to throw out Brian's message for you guys. There's like a video thingy attached and a link to get a hold of him. Oh.
Hey, let's do a quick vote. We got Dylan here. We got Terry Daniels here. We got Jeremy Daniels here. It's not a large vote, but if you guys like the scrolling messages on the side right here, see right here, right there. They're all right there. If you like that, can you give me a thumbs up? And if you don't like it, if you like it coming up like this, give us a thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. Just want to see what people think. I mean, your perspective.
Right. And sometimes we're going to highlight them like this anyway, because look, we got the link, and I just want to remind you, check out Brian and all that good stuff. Last night I did not. Hello, Tony. I did not bring up Joe Meisch and the temple massager.
Oh, Tony Woodman, good to see you. Boom. Temple massager. Sorry, that's Mark. Be on the ball.
Did you say use?
Look at that.
There you go. Here's a little. Just reach out to him. You guys, listen. If you use the code WeP3 when you order your temple massager, you will get 20% off. And we all know 20% off of this amazing product. You might want to order two because somebody's going to steal it from you. So there. Order two.
If you use this thing, I mean, you should use this thing. And if you do use this thing, and it is, mine sits here by the desk, and I load up all the time, and I just say good night, Andrea, good night, and I just do this thing and let it go down onto the neck and up into the ears and behind the ears, and it's just, oh my gosh, it is. Oh,
it's so good. Tony, is that you? You are busy? Because I would believe that. I've seen some things you're doing. Amazing busies. And thank you for sharing the things that you're doing. It's pretty exciting. We will get you rescheduled here soon. Well, I mean, we'll get you scheduled soon. We are kind of booked for a while, but that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. You can always hear the People's Patriot Project on Sunday evenings at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on their Reads Across America radio. They take our last week's episode and put it up on their platform for people who want to catch last week's show.
Sorry, again, that covers your face. I'd like to fix that.
Oh. It's okay. It's just going to be there for a minute. We're fine. We're fine. I'm not even looking because I'm reading.
Here, we can do it. You talk away, and I'll do it this way. There. That's the best I've ever looked, just like that, right?
And it's right here on the side, you guys, right here. Am I pointing
That's
at
where
it?
it is for you? No.
Is it over here?
Yeah, it's right there.
That's weird. That's right. If I flip my screen, is it better?
Things you learn.
Look at this. I have a touch up my appearance button. Why wouldn't I use it? Okay, so now it's here.
Yes.
Okay. That's backwards,
Yes.
just so you know. For me. Backwards. And I don't sing. All right. Are we talking? Do you want to talk about our guest last night, first of all?
We, folks, in a super good way, we had our hands were full last night. It was amazing. It was real. It was dynamic. It is a testament of all the things that we work on. And it's something. There were probably a lot of things that were said last night that a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, I wouldn't say that," and that's okay. We have to get. We can't hide away from these conversations. Now, was some language being used that I don't necessarily approve of last night? 100%. We cleared and shared that with Terrence. And you know what I said several times throughout the show, it has never benefited a conversation by calling people names. Never. Good or, it does. You know, when you say, "Hey, champ, go get him," that feels good. But there's some words and vernaculars that may have been used last night that I don't necessarily 100% approve of. And so we had those conversations. But it doesn't stop the fact that the point he was making in some of his conversations need to be conversations that need to be heard. And there are people that have been slighted because of agendas. There are people that are you going to get this guy in here? Or what's the deal? Like,
I don't look at this guy. The goon is in the house.
Why the goon? The goon. We got to put him up on the pretty row, though. That's the way it works.
So the reason why I put the goon is because in Iraq, our squad was called the Goon Squad. I take that as some of my best friends, I met overseas, and that's what we would call it, and I stuck with it.
That is very
well,
Jeremy.
That makes a lot of sense then. Okay. Good to see you here, Mr. Petrie. Good to see you.
Thanks for inviting me.
So last night. Is my face sliding?
Your right side is drooping.
Last night, we had Mr. Terrence Pop on last night. And the guy's got a following. He's got people. He's got people are interested in what he has to say. I'm interested in what he has to say. What he is saying is not wrong. Is it edgy? Yes. The video we watched last night, tough. It was a video about losing basically your children through divorce after you've been deployed, and then the thought processes and the pieces, and super tough to watch, super tough to digest, and not a conversation everyone wants to have. But nonetheless, there is stuff that has happened to our men and women who have served our country that they don't necessarily get a fair shake in some of these. You're not making $1 million as an E1, E2 Spec 4 running and protecting the country and or protecting an agenda of the country and turning around and finding out that, you know what, there's bills to be paid. And sometimes the relationships you're having, sometimes the relationships that you had and started when you were here stateside aren't intact in the way that you thought they would be when you are serving, which is not fair. It does happen. It is tough. And it's you know what, at the end, the men and women have to deal with it. But then all of a sudden the men and women have a responsibility to the responsibility. They got child care, they have alimony, they have all those pieces, and they're just trying to take care of themselves, which is bad because they've been taking care of everyone, which is good. And it's a mixed message, and it's heartbreaking to know. Terrence Pappas of Redonculus.com does an amazing job. If we can get those links up, I don't know if we're paying attention right now to those pieces, but
up already, dude.
You're good. No, you did. Oh, my bad. Thank you. I wasn't I'm not attacking. What the hell is Dylan doing here? Do something, Dylan. I'm just.
Yeah.
Dylan is here looking pretty, and he's wearing the swag. Is what he's doing.
That's right. This month, I just got back from the gym, so
Patriot pride.
Jeepers.
That up there.
No, you just keep
Terrence wears it on his sleeve, and he doesn't shy away from it. He has a message. He has a following. He's getting the word out there. All the people are out there. It was tough, hard, amazing. I'm the guy that's willing to have every and any conversation. And then I literally had this conversation with one of my youth the other day where they may have been a little naughty. They didn't see that they were being naughty. I gave them the directive that they needed to have. It gave a reset, a restart. It is this and that. But I always believe in coming back and have a restorative conversation after the fact. You can't come back to my class unless you're willing to have that conversation. Now, that means you may not be ready to come back to my class, and that's okay. And again, I don't penalize you for not doing that. And that day may not be the day. You might be that mad at me, and I may not be right. This is the whole point. But then we have the conversation. I share my side. They share their side. We talk about how we grow and how we get. And this particular time, this student said, well, I don't think I did anything wrong, Mr. Peterson. And I go, here's the great part of this conversation. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me, but we've had the conversation. We say we were both set. And please understand, because you also don't think you did anything wrong, the next time you do that step, I'm going to send you out the room again. Because this is my classroom and this is my space, and we'll have that hard conversation. And this was a case where they were putting some stuff in the air to spin the other youth that were in the room that was kind of bullying another youth. And they are like, well, I was just giving my side. And I'm like, not the time and place for your side. And so, but they had their say. And, here's the deal. I said, you can come back to the classroom. We've agreed to not agree. And she goes, I don't want to come back to your classroom right now. I'm like, that's okay. You don't have to. And I didn't hold her accountable for that. And about 5 minutes later, she came back into my classroom and started her work. And I rewarded her because we have something that's called Pride Points. And we have a school store. And I gave her 5 Pride Points for having the tough conversation, not liking the answer that she got, but coming back and facing the reality that she wouldn't have gotten 0 credit for the day in the classroom, came back. Now, I'm not patting myself on the back for this. What I'm saying is we all need to learn to have the tough and hard conversations and not agree with everything on the other side of the table. We got to the point of having the conversation where we have cyclically gone through these conversations so many times that now we're frustrated. And because we're frustrated, we let anger come out. And because when we're angered, then we say things that are mean, hurtful, and despiteful. And that's human nature. I don't have to have you agree with me, but I need you to understand the stuff coming out of my mouth. And if you don't understand it and don't want to understand it, you know what? Maybe we don't have these conversations constantly, but I need to wash my hands of it and realize this isn't the relationship that I want to have. And then that I have to figure that piece out. So we came to that conclusion last night that he challenged me. Why have the conversations if nothing changed? And my comment back to him was, it's the same conversation we have with our veterans and first responders who are struggling with some decisions and B, their life. If you are sitting there doing nothing, then nothing's going to happen. If you're not investing anything in the process, then nothing is going to happen. If you at least are willing to have the tough conversation, both sides are heard. Yes, you may not get your way, but it is a positive, forward-moving progress, and maybe there's some growth that can be had in it. Now, bottom line is, and I'll stand to this, calling people names has never been a progressive way of moving forward. It doesn't. That's where we ended up last night. And feel free. And I don't know how much you watched last night, Dylan. On the end of the bus.
I watched a pretty good bit of it because I liked him. He was I like people who are willing to have that conversation, because it takes a lot of guts, especially in today's world, where it just seems like everybody, if you have a difference of opinion, they just hate you for it. Like, like they call you things that you're not really, like, racist or misogynistic or stuff like that. I mean, I don't agree with everything he said. You know what I'm saying? But, but like, I know he comes from a place of comes from a good place of heart with it, And
that's the tough part.
As long as you're like, he's willing to do something, which is most people don't, because they're either worried about, hey, they're gonna label me as this and that or stuff like that. Because it's 2025. The world's changed a lot. As every day something's changing in the world, and it's hard to stick to your values and your morals and your principles that you stand on. But a lot of people don't understand, like, I can have a disagreement with you and not like your way of life, but I don't have to hate you. It's just the way I feel about it, because who am I to judge a guy's handiwork? That's one of the things, like, I read in my AA book, it says, who am I to judge God's handiwork? Like, who? I can't judge another person because, we're all, God built us all. That's kind of where I am with it. But,
the frustrating piece and particularly part of his topic and part of his space that he fills is a lot of the stuff he says gets canceled, or like last night's video, it's banned on YouTube in some spaces. And I get it. Now, is this a video that you should walk in and Andrea showed her 8th grade class with the context and a deeper conversation in regards to a lot of other stuff? You could, but you're not going to walk in right now today. Hey, I got a video to show you. Here it is. Boom, and play it. It would break some lives because of the content of his video. Is his video wrong? It's not wrong. Is it meant? And I'll be honest with you, it's probably not meant for everyone in our network to watch, but it is talking about suicide. It is kind of the reenactment process of a suicide. It is tough. And if this is something that you are interested in exploring, go check out Ridiculous.com. The links are here. Terrence Popp, he does an amazing job depicting the pieces. And I'm going to be a little bold in making the statement. I have a feeling what you see on the video is something that Mr. Popp has experienced in his real life. He's kind of alluded to that. He said that he was at his last minute several times, and that and again, it's worth a listen. It really is. That's my opinion. He's got some books out there. We kind of found out more of that later as we were exploring more about Terrence Popp. I would like to keep him around and work with him. I would like him to be a part of what WeP3 is doing and building and growing and becoming better, doing better. That was one of my challenges at the beginning of the show too. I do want to bring up that conversation because there was a little narrative of we just got done off of Memorial Day week. And it's not Memorial Day week, for the record. It's Memorial Day. And that's a frustration for me. And so is it okay if I go through my little narrative, guys? You all right with that, Andrea?
Go right ahead.
Oh, Dylan, you're shaking your head no. And
No,
that means...
go ahead. I like it. I mean, for me, with the whole Happy Memorial Day thing, I'm kind of, and to be honest with it, I think some people just don't know how to know any other way else. So I think that's the problem with it. And, if you're trying to correct people, it's still fine. I'm not going to be like, oh, Happy Memorial Day. I'm going, hey, it's not fucking Happy Memorial Day. Stuff like that, nothing like that. I just, I kind of just let people be with it because I learned a long time ago, I can either be happy or I can be right. And, I'd rather my peace over it than sit here and argue with, trying to debate with somebody that's probably not going to change their mind about it. So it's just,
it doesn't even have
battles.
It doesn't even have to be a debate. It can be a conversation. But so this is the way we started the show off yesterday. First of all, we always start off a show off with our recant of what we believe. And we want to make sure that we're always and constantly thanking the men and women. We know why we get to do this. Thank you to the service members and first responders that have committed their time, sweat, blood, limbs, family, and life to give us the freedoms we have that allow us to do what we do daily. And then I had a lot of reflection about Memorial Day. What is the value of Memorial Day? What is the worth? We give one day to the men and women who have given all to remember that they have fallen for the sake of our freedoms and liberties. And for a lot of people, it's a 3-day weekend where you get to enjoy it. And again, enjoy. And some people come in and they say, Happy Memorial Day. Have a happy Memorial Day. And that's not the intent of the day. And again, I'm not going to beat up anyone over this. I'm going to have conversations. We've listened. Listen to Shannon Book come up with his version of this conversation. We sat and listened to several other people come up. And again, don't be butthurt when people say have a happy Memorial Day. Just realize it's people. They don't know any better. They don't take the time. Literally, I'd like to know the data of how many people took time on Monday to reflect about all the things that have been lost to allow us to drink the coffee we want to drink when we want to, drive when we want to, how do we want to. The conversations in Minnesota right now, whether you need to go and be in-person work, that blows my mind away. I know I won't get on it, but it's just like the fact that people don't think they should be at work to do their job. That's the way it was meant to be. Yes, technology has given us, so I am a little looser on that a little bit, but it is affecting businesses, and businesses want the people back. And I'm not on another soapbox. We'll get back to that at another time. What is your freedom worth to you? I mean, what have you done for your freedom? What have you done? I mean, ask yourself, literally, what have I done for the freedom I have to walk down the road and speak the way that I speak, do the things that I do? Do you ever think about the ones that have lost everything, that lost their lives? Last night we got into the weeds with lost relationships, lost their children, lost time, lost income. And again, I understand people have made a decision or a choice to serve. I totally get it. Yes, you need to own that. But tell me how many 17-year-olds are responsible to make those decisions to begin with? 17, 18, and 19. I've got some that are a little bit older than that. And I don't know that they're responsible enough to make all those decisions yet. Love them to death. Believe I taught them right, but I don't know. And again, don't hate them for it. Don't dislike them for it. Don't question them about it. But I will still be here to help when they need help. We have one day in our year where we designate a moment to those that lost everything. For the why. For me, would they have laid it all down for what we represent now? I know brothers and sisters that are struggling with some of the pieces and places and spaces that our country is entertaining. I totally get it, and I understand. This is my conclusion to these thoughts. Mark Peterson, as a person, need to be better. Mark Peterson, need to do more. I believe that thank you is not enough. Standing over someone's gravesite saying thank you for the loss of your life is not enough. It reminds me of the scene. I get it. It's a movie. I get it. The scene in the movie where Private Ryan, where little tiny older, really super older Private Ryan is sitting at the gravesite of the men that lost their lives to bring him out of that war zone and out of that theater. And his whole question is, have I lived a life that merited these men losing their life? And we will include women as well. One day, one singular day out of the year is not enough. And just to take the time to remember also is not enough. Those are my opinions. And take for what I want. And add, delete, cancel, do what you got to do.
I like that you did the Saving Private Ryan thing, because that's actually a very powerful scene. It makes sense. Like I like the way you put it. Very, very well put. Because, those guys in the movie, they did sacrifice their lives for one guy to bring him back. And, so I can see I like the way you did that. I know you say it's just a movie, but the thing about movies is sometimes they can, in real life, it hits somebody. It's going to inspire somebody, or it's going to, that's the great thing I love about movies, and, the ideal of America, the ideal of freedom to be whatever you want to be. Like, you can come to this country with nothing, absolutely nothing, and make it on top. That's the beautiful thing about America, is the ideal of you can come here with absolutely nothing and make something of yourself, because we have that freedom in place to do so. I mean, a lot of people come to America, immigrants, we're all immigrants, but, they come here and they made something of themselves, so, like I go vote because, I have the right to go vote. And there's some countries where they don't get that option, or they're told who to vote for. You can, or you don't go vote. It's totally your freedom to do whatever you want to with it. Like
I have opinions on those. I have opinions, and that's
and
I get to keep those to myself.
and then like, you know, I'm not condoning what I'm about to say whatsoever. I'm on the aspect of it's your freedom. You can do what you want. If you want to burn the American flag, by all means, if you bought it, do what you want with it. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you can't do it. You know, it may be controversial opinion. I'm not condoning it by anybody watching this. I am not condoning that because I don't believe in doing that. But it's your right to do it. It's your freedom of expression, freedom of speech, however you want to do it. It's yours. I mean, if you bought it, by all means, you want to burn something you paid money for, go ahead and do it. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I agree with it because I don't. I think it's stupid. Like, if you don't like America that much, I mean, try to change it as best you can. You know, for me,
that is a gigantic frustration that I had to learn through in life, and that's part of my maturity is accepting what freedom and what liberty really means. And not everyone's going to agree with me on this one. I don't know how I would handle and deal with some of those pieces in place. I mean, I don't know what I would generally do. There was a time, so I'm saying I don't know, but there was a time where I knew it would come to fists if I saw someone burn a flag. It would come to fists, and because that was who I was. I'm going to say this is going to be in the last 15 years even, where I've learned that putting my actions into service allows other people the chance to express themselves in the manner that they deem necessary. I don't necessarily like it, and I don't know if I would speak against it. I don't know what I would do. I haven't been in that situation. I don't know.
I think also just like, I don't know, they say they're not free, but then they're doing the very same things that in other countries that probably get you killed. Like, just, you know, stuff like that. Like, if you spoke out against, you know, Kim Jong-un in North Korea, you'd be dead. Like, there's no, you know, that's the freedom. And that's like, you have freedom here that people don't have, like, in other countries, you know? And then, you know, we're the economy here, like I said, you can come here and be anything you want to be. That's just the great thing about America is the ideal of you can come to America with nothing, and somebody had to die for it. I mean, it's always going to be like that. There's always going to be war. There's always going to be somebody threatening the ideal of freedom. It's just like that. I mean, so people are always going to continue to die for it. So I think you should definitely be thankful for it, you know? But that's just my opinion. Like, that's how I think now, you know? Because, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and share my story. The reason why I got into the military is because the judge gave me a choice, you know? And I chose the military route. And think about it now, if I wouldn't have joined the military, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be a felon coming right out of prison. My options are limited. You know, I came from poor household. Both my parents were drug addicts. And, you know, like, you know, I'm not like a millionaire or anything, but, you know, I'm living a pretty good life now, especially now that I'm sober and in sobriety. And, you know, so it's just that ideal right there is just what makes America great, you know?
You get the freedom to express yourself in our country now. I don't know where Mrs. Eichmann is, and if she's planning on doing Jonathan's part of the show. So,
sorry, I'm back. I had a thing in my eye, and I couldn't sit still. Sorry. I'm here. I just didn't think it was working very well. Yes, I do want to do Jonathan's part because he was so good about putting his notes in here. We did have a guest last night, and I'm going to say his name because since we invited him to be on the show, he's done nothing but tag us and include us in his posts and be very generous. His name is Jeff Jacobs. You can find him at Jeff Jacobs Band, Jeff Jacobs Music. Somehow our lines got crossed. He is admittedly not a service member, but because of our conversations last night, and as he was figuring out that he felt he shouldn't be here since he did not serve, he did share a story about his grandfather serving, and he connected that to, even though he was so young, knowing that his grandfather went some stuff with night terrors, and had some tremors, and he knew that this was what he brought back, with him from, I think he said Vietnam or Korean War. And so he could understand that piece. Jeff's first song that we played was titled Always on My Mind. He's also got very, he ties in some emotion in his songs, and I would call, we asked him a genre of his music, and he got a little I don't know, that's the problem, not going to be put in a box. I would call it Americana music is what I would call it. It's a little bit country, it's a little bit not country, and so that was a great song. We did lose Jeff after that. He really wasn't comfortable staying on, which honestly I want to say is admirable, just knowing that our talk would be all about having served, whether military or first responder. He did not want to take that spotlight from someone else because he hadn't served. We did play a couple more songs. Gosh, in terms of the mood, last night Peterson did choose little Chris Turner. We got a little virtual trip to the Waffle House with this song, Take You Out. He honestly did lighten the mood just for a little bit with even though Chris Turner seems a little rawr in that song. It was very good for kind of changing the mood a little bit. And then we did Mike Corrado's Stand. And that's just a song that reminds us kind of what our conversation was about here. But, that I will, you will, probably both of you will. You'll stand for the flag. You'll stand for the honor. You'll stand for what's right. You can tie a lot into that. But Mike Corrado, very talented, and so glad we got him on here. You know how long I tried to get him on here, and then one day Peterson's like, "Oh, this Mike Corrado guy is coming on." Dang it! I wanted that one, but it's like a game. Who can get them booked? So anyway, great night for music, and thank you for sharing the link on that one. And then you guys, we have a couple of cool guests, although not gonna lie, I get a little nervous. Do I need to check? So here's the deal: when we find our musicians, some come as referrals, and no matter how hard we try, we can't necessarily find if they are veterans or not without. I'm not one to just be like, oh, by the way, I need you to have served, your community or your country if you're going to do this. And so now I'm a little nervous. I need to go check Ryan Daniel, make sure and I'm kidding. I know he served. I found his background, his music too. I would probably put in an Americana category and a little country. And then we will have Brennan Morton coming in, and Jonathan, the lucky dog, got to sit in the I think Peterson and I were at meetings one night, and I asked Jonathan, we actually had not virtual, we had in-person meetings. And so I asked Jonathan, I wasn't going to get back in time to meet Brennan in the studio. Jonathan thinks the world of this guy and says he interviewed well, and he's going to be an interesting guest on Sunday. So please tell your friends. He is the author of Valhalla Boys, Brennan is. So I think these two guests together, sometimes we have that magic moment when two guests are like, whoa, we got a lot in common. or you got what I need, and I think I can help you with what you need, and things just work out like that. So looking forward to Sunday when you got your 6 at 6, 1800 Central Time, always every Sunday. So, how do you like that?
Good job.
Boom.
Liked it.
Thank you for liking it.
Are you going to pick a song to end on?
Oh yeah, can I look? Do you have anything else to?
Make sure you're getting your reads for Reads Across America. You can get into our I think we can, if you scan, is this right? No, that's not right.
That's to give to us.
That's donation. We can do this one. Thank
there
you.
it is.
You can. We probably got to take. Let's take this.
I was going to say, stop
probably
showing
need to take that off. Yep. You can scan this code, and that'll take you to our Reads Across America site, and you can get a wreath for anyone you need or who has served across the country. We've kind of challenged everyone in our network to do one once a month. I know that's a lot. I mean, we're not going to ask you to give to the People's Patriot Project and sponsor wreaths at the same time. Pick one, do one. We get it. We understand it. We know where people are at. We know what the expectations are. We know that your resources are yours, and that you get to be the steward of that. And we just want to provide opportunities. There's a long conversation I have in regards to memorials and spending money on memorials and wreaths when we've got living memorials that need help and support. That's not a commercial against doing it, because that is also the feel-good piece of people serving people. And for many people who don't know, Andrea is the regional or the area coordinator for the Fort Snelling National Cemetery, which is the third largest national cemetery in the country. And we are far from putting a wreath on every one of those lost members' lives. And so it's an important piece. It does send a message, to our community and to our network. And so if you have the means, please scan the code, go and get a wreath. Donating a wreath will get it to sponsoring a wreath will make sure that we have a person. We'll also have a person to lay that wreath. If you want to do wreath specific, which is I have a person I'd like this wreath to go to, let us know. And if you want to lay a wreath, you do that all on the webpage. It takes care of all those pieces. And so we'd like to get the cemetery down in Louisiana taken care of. I'd be intrigued in that, because all those cemeteries, not all, but are above ground. So what would that look like? That it's completely different than the Minnesota cemeteries where you see the white, or like Arlington National Cemetery. I'd just like be completely intrigued about what that would look like, because it's pretty beautiful just seeing it.
I'm trying to think of if they have any cemeteries like that around, maybe around New Orleans. I'm not too sure, so I'm not going to speak on it if I don't know nothing about it.
They do. New Orleans is a definite. I think there's 3 or 4 down in the southeastern Louisiana area. We're looking into that actually right now.
I was about to say, 'cause I remember we were talking about it, and I was like, actually, I think I tried to look it up one time, and I got so many different answers. I was just because I don't think there's not one in Houma where I'm originally from, and I don't know. There might be one up here in Lafayette. I'm gonna have to look.
There might be one in Lafayette,
because Lafayette's a pretty big area, so yeah, I have to look into that.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that has served and has lost their life is merited a wreath. If it doesn't matter, what cemetery it is, the wreath will get there. So
I think there's I was talking to, there's another veteran organization up here that I was talking to. I can't remember their names for nothing. I'm drawing a blank. But we were talking about it because they saw my hat, the We the People hat that Jonathan made.
yeah,
People think it's like We the People, just like the saying. But then it's like, what's the People's Patriot Project? So I start that conversation. That's how it usually goes, because I usually wear that hat everywhere. Like one of my, I only have like 2 hats, and that's one of them.
love it.
Oh, sorry.
You got your
I'm looking at all our music choices because I got one, but I can't find it. I have one I want.
oh. Do you need help?
No, it's not here.
I need to go see Blake Luquette play again. So I need to go do.
Yeah, it was.
He's up around my area.
Is
Oh,
he?
nice.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. Like, so I met him like, when we had our event. I didn't know he served in the same battalion as me. So I was he knows a lot of the same people I know.
You ready to roll, Eichmann?
I am. I don't know. I have to find the background though.
I got
Okay,
it. You get your song going. I'll take care of it.
What?
Go ahead.
If I say the name, you're going to tell the background of the song?
No.
Oh, that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Yay! No, do you remember? So now I can't even think of his name. You guys, you keep talking. I've been.
Oh, I wanted to say something about what was his name again? The guy who didn't serve. I'm drawing a blank again.
Our musician from last night was
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. I was like, was his name Jeff or is it Jacobs? Guy with 2 first names.
Yes.
I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's good. Like, I know he felt a little uncomfortable considering he didn't serve, but I like his view from the civilian side of somebody who didn't serve. So if you're listening, hey, man, I appreciate you saying that. And, I think we all need to hear like a civilian side of an opinion, because, especially like what it's like from his, like what he viewed it as. And, I think it makes people appreciate it just a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
I was wishing he would have stayed. I enjoy his music. I was listening to it in the car when I was driving, listening to the podcast. But yeah, I liked him. I liked the way he talked about like his experience with it, and I think like sometimes we need to hear that
Absolutely.
from the other side.
That is, I like that too. That's kind of the way I felt. But like I said, I admire him too for both ways. I would have loved to have had him for a while. But
Yeah, I like his perspective of it, and he went through like he loved his grandpa obviously, and to see your grandpa go through stuff like that. I mean, because to be fair, was it like the Korean War, Vietnam War? That was like some. I don't know if I would have made it back then, fighting in that war. So I can see on what side of it he's coming from.
Right.
when I deployed to Iraq, I had Wi-Fi. I had a cell phone. So like life wasn't as rough as it could have been from people that in past wars. Like I hear this all the time with people that I was in rehab with. 'Cause I went to all veteran rehab, and they were all like in their 50s and stuff like that. And then we were just swapping stories, and they're just like, "You had a cell phone?" He's like, "I had to use a satellite phone," and I was just like, "I said, yeah, that's kind of rough. Makes me appreciate that the time frame I came up in, because I don't know if I would have made it." To be fair,
Right.
So.
Right. No, that's crazy. We've heard 2 sides of that coin. Like, yes, there's that because you can be more in touch, with your people. And then on the flip side of that is coming home took longer with your people and gave you time to work through things before you got here. So sometimes the transitioning, you kind of went through the first part of it with your buddies and got through that part before you got back stateside. So although it's probably nice to be in touch with everybody in the present. Why are you grinning? Look at Peterson.
I just taking it all in.
Yeah, when people was like, well, I joined in like, the 80s or something, I'd be like, I wasn't even born yet. That's
Neither was I. Peterson, though, he's old.
Look a day over 25.
No. I got you, Mark.
I got you.
Appreciate it.
You have to use the touch up your appearance button. That's what I do. Works like splendid. I found my song. Do you want to hear about the guy and the song?
Absolutely.
We had Tim McDonald on back in April. Gosh, that wasn't very long ago. It seems like so long ago. Tim McDonald is in touch with the music world. He's played with Mark Chesnop, like Shelton, Olivia Newton-John, Hank Williams. There's a whole list of them. So he played some really cool, kind of edgy songs. So I want to play tonight this song. Hold on, I think I lost it now because I was switching around. This song called I totally freaking lost it. Snake Farm.
Oh, I love that damn song. I got it on my playlist.
There we go. I found it again. Okay, and this song is originally by Ray Wiley Hubbard. And here's how it's a cult classic, which is just one that you have to just hear because it's nasty. Yep, pretty much it just is. That was right out of Tim's mouth. And he had a lot of fun presenting it. So anything else, you guys, before we play this Snake Farm?
Couldn't have picked a better song.
I think it's great. It's like Snake Farm outside today, all 91 degrees of it.
Like when I heard it on the show, I was like, I put it in my playlist immediately, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this. I'll listen to it at least every other day.
It's a good one.
On top of listening to WeP3 Radio, mind you, that's what he does.
Yes, on top of that.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
All right, I'm gonna share that link, and then I'm ready to roll. You ready to roll?
They're ready to roll.
All right, listen to WeP3 Radio. Love you all. Take care. Have a great week.
With your pride.
Dude, here it is. Boom.
Like a tempest storm, she can dance like Little Egypt. She works down at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house. Snake Farm, ooh. Sense of humor, got a tattoo down her arm. It's a python eating a little mouse wearing a sailor's hat that says Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house. Snake Farm, ooh. There. She says, well, it's got its charms. Nothing to do in the winter. Now and then some kid gets bit at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house. Snake Farm, ooh. Her malt liquor she still plays her records at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house. Snake Farm. Ooh. Calls me up, she says, come on down here, Tim, it's getting warm. She runs everybody off and we, you know, Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house. Snake Farm, ooh, Snake Farm, just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house. Snake Farm.